giving you an opportunity to get the full story from the people who tell it best. This is Mediacom News Leaders.
Hello everyone and welcome to Mediacom News Leaders. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Carol Kelly. Joining us today from the Waterloo City Council, Ward 1, Margaret Klein. Margaret, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So talk to us about the budget.
It's
a
budget.
big process, but you were just recently elected, so you just went through the budget process for the first time. Tell us about that.
It was an experience to remember. It's much more in-depth than I thought. It's much more, a lot of horse trading going on. One thing I would like to see going forward is I would like the process to start earlier. I would like it to be more inclusive of the council rather than have all the labor and work being done in the background and then brought to us. I would like to be involved in those earlier determinations. But basically, start it earlier, get more detail out to the public so that they can be more participants in the whole thing.
You said it was different from what you expected. Can you tell us about that?
It was. I guess I expected it to be more formal. I expected it to be more in-depth. I found myself having to call in and ask for different pieces of information. I guess I presumed all of that would have been included in the packets that we got from the beginning. So my expectations didn't quite line up with the reality, but I'm going to work on that next year and see if I can't get ahead of it.
And so let's talk about then the process too of the budget and some of the things that you found as you were going through that process.
Well, I found that the suggestions and hopes that we were encouraged to put on paper and to submit were not included in the final product. And I never got any information back as to why. I would have loved to have had more feedback. So I think if we encourage the council and the administration to work together to discuss, to really actually get in there and be partners in this, it would work much more efficiently.
Let's talk a little bit about, you've said before, the core problem versus the root cause. Tell us about that.
Right. Well, I believe that this budget that we passed, like many others, is simply putting a Band-Aid over a problem, just kind of rolling that problem up to the next year. And the same discussions are held. If you go back and look at city council meetings, it's the same arguments, the same discussions. I believe we've got to attack the root problem in Waterloo, which as I see it is we need a city administrator. It's not a change of government per se, because you'd still have the mayor, you'd still have the council, but a city administrator is a professional, a person who's had education in city government and who has a proven track record of turning cities around. They're the continuing, stable piece of the puzzle that's missing right now. Right now we have mayors that come in for 2 years. Then they have to run again. They may or may not get in. The council turnover is about every 2 years. And so that leaves the department heads at loose ends sometimes. They just don't know which way the wind is going to blow. So if you brought in a professional, gave them a long-term contract, there would be stability in the city. And I think that would make all the departments work much more efficiently and together.
And you are being, of course, new on the City Council
Yes.
in Waterloo. Tell us a little bit about the discord that you've seen.
You know, everyone talked about that. It was a huge topic during my campaign. Everywhere I went, are you going to get along? Are you going to make those guys get along? Because at the time it was all men on the council. And I thought, wow, this must really be something. But what I didn't factor in is I come from a huge family. And in our family picnics and gatherings, people talk loud, they overtalk each other, we do a lot of laughing, sometimes people get into a little snit, but they always get over it. It was family, so when I came on the council I thought, this really isn't too much different. And would I want it to be different? I don't think so, because you want 7 different individuals with 7 different opinions to come together and find a way to get along, to make the city work efficiently. I like that wrangling. I know that they're fighting hard for what they really believe in, and so am I.
And we wish you the best. Always a pleasure. Thanks, Margaret.
Thanks so much.
Yes. This has been Mediacom News Leaders, your opportunity to get the full story from the most reliable sources exclusively on Mediacom News Leaders.